bringing you some late breaking information. If you guys don't know, Nancy Grace did another show about Shanquella. You guys, our voices are being heard. This is the second show on Nancy Grace. This is Dateline. We are really keeping Shanquella's name out there, but y'all, there's some great things that actually were discovered in this interview. The sister talked about why the police isn't telling her anything, but also they had Joe Bruno. If you don't know who he is that reporter that really went and sat there by a picnic table and called their phones. Joe Bruno actually said he went to their houses, and you're not going to believe what he found taped to the door. But most importantly, it looks like Khalil Cooke's mother has had to quit her job because of everything going on in the case. And there was some people out there trying to be like, that's not fair. What her son does doesn't have anything to do with her. Y'all, we're going to get into this. But first, let's hear about what's going on with Khalil, if they've heard from them, and also why his mom had to run. Listen to this.
Say what?
Khalil Cooke.
That's right, Khalil Cooke.
Khalil Cooke.
And he is no longer at his house. Is his mother still at his house?
Neither one of them are there. They're both gone.
Oh, so he's snugged up with mommy.
Snugged up with mommy. That's the perfect way to describe it.
I don't even think his mama is even going to work. Last thing I heard, that I don't even believe she works there any longer.
Really? Okay.
But let's listen to exactly what Khalil's mom is actually protecting him from. Okay, a lot of people have been like, oh, well, if it's mom, what do you expect? You know, of course your family's going to roll out with me. A lot of the people on the run have pledged their fealty, but let's look at exactly what Khalil's mom, Dejanay's mom, Alyssa's mom, of course, allegedly, right? Malik Dryer's mom, Winter Donovan's mom. Let's listen, and Nasir Wiggins until they are proven, right? They were all there. Let's hear what their family, their friends, the people that have sympathy, the people saying, oh my God, well, you know, they have to live their lives. What is Khalil's mom protecting him from? Listen to this.
You know, certainly the trauma is, it's just, well, number one, it's disgusting. The entire episode, the entire situation is just absolutely disgusting. You know, after she got attacked, she felt every blow to her body. And when she got the fatal blow to the head, you can feel that within your body. You can feel your bones breaking. You can feel the paralysis come over you. You are unable to defend yourself. You have no connection to your arms and your legs any further. So you cannot move. You cannot walk. You are 100% totally helpless, you know, but still you are conscious. You are still conscious for part of that time. And you can still see the people around you. You are still very aware of the violent situation around you. You can still hear the voices of the people, you know, who are attacking you.
But she wouldn't be able to move, right? Because her spine had been severed.
Right. She would be 100% paralyzed, and she would not be able to move her arms, her legs. She would not even be able to speak. But she still would be able to hear, and she still would be able to see. You know, and that's the horror of the entire situation. You'd still be able to understand what you're hearing. You'll still be able to see the violence around you, even though your spinal cord was severed. Yes.
Khalil Cooke.
Again, this is what Khalil Cooke's mother is hiding her son from. Dejanay, right? Looked like it happened at her hands. We're going by the video. You have, who else? Winter was there. Alyssa was there. Malik Driver. Alyssa, whose mother is a minister and hasn't said one word to her flock in prayers and understanding, hasn't sent a carnation or daisy. Think about what happened to Shanquella. And then ask yourself, is it just that this woman had to leave her job? Is it just at the fact that she's doing what she can to protect her son? Not only was she brutally attacked, not only did they take her life, but she was put in basically a glass cage where she felt everything. She heard everything. She saw their cold look standing over her, looking like it was like some scene from Fight Club. She saw their cold, indifferent looks, their bored nature. Man, at least fight back. She saw Khalil, who was her best friend, who went on vacation with her mom, with her family, somebody that the moms looked at like a brother. She saw him scratching his beard, looking bored, like shh, because she wouldn't fight back, because her life was there for their amusement. And to think that any one of the Cabo6 family could protect them from, forget about being held accountable, just even answering some questions to find some justice. But y'all, it's not over. And it's like Nancy asked, what's the next steps?
Hey, Irv Brandt, what do we do now?
Track them all.
Track them both. Yeah, you're right.
And everyone associated with them, Nancy.
Track them both, track them all. Like Nancy points out, and her people up there point out, listen, it's not as easy to run as people think think it is, especially when the FBI has already started watching you. Y'all, the phone records, the family, the friends, the Facebook, the Instagram. Speaking of, track them down. We already have people on the case. Shout out to Hollywood Next. Did an amazing job of actually tracking down Malik Dreyer and Desiree Jackson. Now, if you guys remember from an old video I did about them, please watch the Shanquella playlist if you are looking for some receipts. Malik Dreyer actually posted on Desiree's birthday, the 30th. Yo, I love you more than anything. I'm sticking by you through thick and thin. I got your back 100%, right? He posted this tribute that almost seemed like he was kissing her rings with fealty, right? Fine. However, what is going on? Y'all know I did a little bit of a background check on Desiree, and I remember surmising, is she an orphan? Because I don't see much about her parents. Well, there's a reason for that. Apparently, Desiree Jackson and Malik Dreyer are both Jamaican. Yeah, man. Shut up, Jamaican. Please, Jamaican TisaTellss, don't drag me. I had to say it. But they are both Jamaican. Apparently, Desiree's mother, she does have a mother, is Jamaican. She immigrated to the US, which might be why there's not much information in the system on her. But you guys, we need to listen about this, right? This is important. This is important. Allegedly, Desiree's mother has left, right? Has left the North Carolina area. But the thing is, and this is where we start to connecting. Remember a long time ago, the Metropolis MX, the Mexican paper that's been leaking stuff, they said that Desiree's been picked up, right, on provisional arrest, and she's being held in Connecticut. They said she's being held in Connecticut. And everybody was like, shut up, boo, you lying. How could she be held in Connecticut? She lives in North Carolina. Well, y'all, again, this might be a coincidence, but apparently by Desiree mom's own Facebook account, the family has heavy connections in Connecticut, specifically Hartford, Connecticut. Heavy connections. It is assumed that they are all hiding out in Hartford, Connecticut. Why did I say hide? Because Desiree Jackson and Malik Dreyer are thick as thieves. Guess what? Their mothers are thick as deep thieves. Malik Dreyer and Desiree Jackson's mother, this is all alleged, right? But it looks like if Facebook posts can be believed, they are thick as thieves. That's why they're so tight. That's why they're so tight. It's rumored right now that Desiree's mother may be in New Jersey. But again, they have thick ties in Hartford, Connecticut. What else can I tell you, right? They're both from Kingston, Jamaica, okay? And again, people are surmising that where you find Malik Dreyer, you will find Desiree Jackson. Now, I do want to say this, and I'll say it again and again and again, and Nancy Grace is going to point it out. Extradition isn't as complicated as people make it seem, okay? There is the issue of paperwork. However, what do we know? We know there's something called a provisional arrest. And for people that regularly do extraditions, especially with Mexico, there is provisional arrest. It is not a normal arrest. They take you into custody because you may be a flight risk or other things, and then they let you do the paperwork. And then when the paperwork's done, they send you back home to be on that soil and be arrested. Okay, but let's get into some more stuff because I need you guys to actually hear this.
Telling your mom.
As of right now, nothing. The FBI.
This is what the police is actually telling the Robinsons. And remember, we talked about this in old videos. It's nothing. And when you listen to this, it's not that the police don't trust the Robinsons. It's just the fact of, well, let her say it out of her mouth. Because before, when she was like, they're not telling us anything, people took it as, aha, this is proof that nobody's been arrested and nothing's moving along and this and that. But listen to what she actually says, because she clarifies her earlier comments.
When she's in contact with them, it just pretty much they tell her they can't give her any information and to just be patient.
But explain to me why Mrs. Robinson, this is Shanquella's mother, has to have vigils and she has to have
We're going to get into that in a second, but I just want you guys to hold this in your mind that they told her mom and her they cannot give them any information. Not that they don't have any information to give, but at this time they cannot give any information and they just need to be patient. Listen to this.
Activists and protests to put her daughter's killers on trial. I don't understand that. I know you said you had to go looking for him and you're the investigative reporter.
Now we're going to talk about Joe Bruno. Joe Bruno is the truth. Go ahead and Google him. He is the investigative reporter, but he's giving us an interesting tidbit of information that I think has been overlooked. Listen to this.
They've deactivated their social media. They've changed their cell phones and they're hiding out from their apartments. Okay. I have faced that maybe 1,000 times prosecuting a case. Of course they leave because they know they're in trouble. But that should not stop local police from finding them. What are you learning, Joe? Just give me some good news. Give me any news.
One of my door knocks to an address associated with the person believed to have attacked Shanquella in that video. While no one answered the door, I noticed a business card taped to the door for the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office investigator. Forsyth County would be the county that issues a warrant because that's the county that she resides in. But that tells me, at least, that there are local authorities actively attempting to get in contact with the people that were on this trip.
You mean arrested? Sorry, Marianne. I know you nicely said get in contact. Okay, Joe Bruno, that is.
Okay, so that is excellent news. One, this case is not in a standstill. Two, they are tracking them down. And this interesting information that Joe Bruno gave, where he was actually knock, 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 ring-a-ling-ling, are y'all home? On the door was taped a business card from the Forsyth County investigators. He said they are the office that issues warrants. Were they coming to pick somebody up? Were they coming to snatch somebody up for the warrant? Also, Joe does not give the date he knocked on the door, and he does not say whose door he knocked on. But the people that issue warrants knocked on somebody's door, and it looks like they may have either snatched somebody up or at the very least, the investigation is active. But there's more.
Giving me a little bit of good news. Quilla Long, did you hear that? Mm-hmm. This guy, Joe Bruno, WSOC TV, is out tracking, trying to find the people involved with your sister's homicide. And he could tell that at least in one instance, the cops had already been there. Local cops. That's what we need. Local cops finding them, getting them to court, because there are arrest warrants. We just need them extradited. What about that, Quilla?
That's a start. I mean, because before Joe Bruno information, I really didn't think they was doing anything, looking for anybody. I can't believe that it's taking this long.
This underlies the point that I think we all need to take in. But take it for what it's worth, right? We have to stop looking to the family for answers. They know as much as we do. In the interview with Nancy Grace, go watch the whole interview. Nancy even says they're finding out about stuff the same time we are. They're watching the same videos. They're making the same assumptions. And that's not a bad thing. But I think it's time we stop looking to the family for answers and we start just supporting the family. The GoFundMe is still open. Watching videos, tweeting about her name, keeping her name out there is how we can support the family, not going to the family and asking them, did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? They will be the first to tell us. But right now, the police are not telling them anything about any part of the investigation. And again, not because they don't trust them, not because they're not trustworthy, but because that's the way things are done. But let's keep going in this interview because she dropped so many gems. Hold on.
Is going to have to be extradited to Mexico. I do see that happen.
This is a local defense attorney out of New York talking about what's going to happen with the extradition to Mexico. And when I first heard it, I had the same reaction Nancy did, but I want you to hear Nancy's reaction because I think she put it all in compass. Listen to this attorney, then listen to Nancy's reaction.
Deborah Blum is a criminal defense attorney in New York. Blum says while she expects the extradition to happen, it could be a process to get it done.
They're going to have their day in court where the person that's accused of this gets to say, I don't agree to extradition, and then they get to have a judicial hearing in front of the judge.
The FBI has also opened an investigation into Robinson's death.
Thank God in heaven the FBI is on it. Okay, everything you just heard by that lawyer it's a technical legal term. It's Latin. It's called BS. You might be familiar with that because Irv Brandt joining me from the U.S. Marshal Service. Isn't it true? Extradition is not the killer's, quote, day in court. That's when you have a jury to determine if you're guilty or innocent. And extradition is real easy. Let's just pretend Jackie Howard over there is a killer and I find her holed up under her mama's bed in Tennessee. I don't have a court hearing about guilt or innocence. I drag her to a Tennessee court, and in my other hand, I have an extradition. It's one piece of paper signed by the governor of Georgia saying Jackie is wanted for murder. All I have to do, Irv Brandt, is drag her from under her mom's bed to a courtroom in Tennessee and say, Judge, here's the governor's extradition order. This is Jackie Howard. And then the governor asks her, the judge asks her one question, are you Jackie Howard? If she says yes, she's gone on the next jail bus to Georgia.
Now listen to this, right? Anyone that's had experience in international extradition knows it doesn't take that long, especially when it's high profile. On top of that, there is such a thing called provisional arrest. Third of all, there are very few things you don't get a day in court. There's very few things that you can actually do or say that will stop the extradition. Extradition is not a trial. All they ask you are you the right person? But get this, because Nancy knows she's been in court. Let's just say the person's like, no, that's not me. I'm not Dejanay Jackson. Listen to this.
If she says no, then I get to do a fingerprint kit on her right there in court and show it to the judge. Then we put her on a jail bus to Georgia. It's not a trial. It's not really even a fact-finding process. It's just, are you Jackie? That's all it is. Agree, disagree, Irv Brandt?
No, I agree. The process, as you just laid out for state to state, is actually a good comparison to how it works internationally.
Why do you sound so calm? Why can you sound so calm? Are you just like exhausted from all the murder, extraditions, and manhunts that you've been on all around the world?
Yes.
I mean, this girl got beaten dead, dragged out of bed, and hit in the head till she's internally decapitated.
Yes, Nancy. I served as the chief inspector at the Office of International Affairs for the DOJ.
Okay, in that case, let me formally apologize for anything that I just said because you clearly know a lot more than me. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll quickly run you through it. During my time at DOJ, at OIA.
Now he's going to run. Now he has over 18 years of experience. Let him run you through about what's actually about to happen.
I supervised hundreds of these type of cases. just like you said. And when the warrant is issued and the suspect is identified, and a foreign government sends the request to OIA attorneys, their assistant United States attorneys, assign the case to the district where the suspect is in. In this case, it would be Charlotte, North Carolina. Then the AUSA there evaluates the evidence, the probable cause, which in this case seems fairly cut and dry. They have a video. Then they prepare it for a judge who evaluates if there's probable cause and they issue an extradition warrant. Then that person is taken into custody. And just like you said, there's no day in court. They're not trying the case in Charlotte. They're going to try the case in Mexico. The only thing they're going to determine at that time, the first thing is that the person that the Mexican authorities want? It's basically an identity hearing. Then they'll determine if that person's going to be released pending the extradition process before they're returned to Mexico. They're not going to have a trial in Charlotte on a murder case. That's going to take place in Mexico.
Can I just answer that real question really fast? HELLNO. Once they get them in court, they're not going to be released pending
Highly
extradition.
unlikely.
They are getting on a bus to take them to a plane, to have them handcuffed on the plane and taken to Mexico.
These friends were plotting.
Now, this is the last piece I wanted you guys to hear, because if you don't know, for the FBI to press charges in America for feds, there needs to be some link to the crime in America, whether they planned it, plotted it, did whatever. This is a psychoanalyst that talks about there has to be something in America that points to it, because listen to her rationale.
This does not happen like in a blink of an eye, in the spur of the moment. These friends were probably deriding Shanquella, saying horrible things about her, taking unflattering photographs, maybe not consciously planning to kill her, but at some sort of pre-conscious level, the attack was being planned. And I think that's what's so, horrible about this is she was sort of like the lamb to the slaughter. She had no idea. She called her mom and said she was about to eat tacos. She was having the happiest moments with new friends. I mean, if you ever hung out with new friends, it's so exciting to be with them and to get to know new people. And these new people were plotting against her all the while.
These new people were plotting against her all the while. They knew or thought they could get away with it. They tried it, and unfortunately, they were successful. And now look at them. Dejanay is, in my opinion, sitting somewhere waiting for extradition. The other ones are literally going about their business. Alyssa, right? Hyatt seems to be from a powerful family, at least middle class. She's going about her business, having her daily frappuccino, getting out of her car, okay? Going to work like life goes on. But Malik, the person that had the greatest responsibility to kill, 40 and slip, the greatest responsibility to care for Shanquella. Mom was forced, it looks like, to leave her job, and they're all in hiding. Let's keep the pressure up until whoever is guilty and needs to be in the cell is sitting there. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you watch the whole Nancy Grace interview. It's so good. I got something good coming up tomorrow. Did a little research. In the meantime, I will talk to y'all tomorrow.